Welcome everyone to the Side Draft Podcast, and you may have just saw us from our Xfinity review.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time since I've seen you, but you may be wondering what we have here on our little cabinet thing. Well, we're very small YouTubers right now, but we don't have an official table yet. But yeah, what are these things?
Well, this is part of our sponsor spotlights. Since we're in the truck series, and this is Lucas Oil. You know, all kinds of products for the engines, for the detail, and pretty much for the whole vehicle itself. And we just want to appreciate them for being in the sport. Jordan Anderson and a couple of others that they sponsor. And try it. It works.
It works.
It works.
It works.
So just go on their website and you can find all kinds of products. And we use it and we enjoy it.
We'll continue to use it for the rest of our lives, probably.
Yep.
All right, so to get into the race review, qualifying is rained out just like the Xfinity Series, and Austin Hill, winner of the Daytona race, will be the pole sitter. But we did see at the beginning of the race, he would just fall back. I don't know. I think he said he missed the shift or something there.
Yes. Starting on pole sometimes is kind of nervous, and especially with the mist and the rain, you really shouldn't have how stuff was going to start.
So Harrison Burton would take the lead as Matt Crafton would follow. Crafton would take the lead from Burton. We thought, wow, these guys are really great. But then we looked in the back a little bit. We saw Kyle Busch. He's just dicing his way through there.
Yeah.
And he would just pass 6 cars in one corner. So that was...
He's like, boys, get out of the way.
That was insane. It's like...
Yeah, his truck was hooked up.
Yeah, everyone else really didn't have anything for him, besides maybe solder on the restart sometimes. But
really, the race was for second.
Yeah. Shortly after that, the 54 of Natalie Decker would spin. We saw Daytona. She would have some issues at the beginning, and just hasn't been a great start for her career.
Yeah, really in the Daytona, she really didn't get started a whole lot. Getting laps, but. Atlanta, she, get some experience, and it's a rough track, and I ain't sure if she hit one of the grooves or something and just got loose.
Then it would be Kyle Busch versus Harrison Burton, our picks that we picked for the weekend. So we did pretty good, side by side with Kyle and Harrison for a while, because Kyle decided to give Harrison the bottom so he wouldn't get golfed up and all that. Does it affect Kyle Busch that he's on the outside, because he's Kyle Busch, and
I noticed that Kyle, he kind of liked the high side. He run the up there at the rim a lot of times, and he come down to the bottom some.
A few times he would. Kyle just cruised to stage 1 finish.
Yeah. He just went on Sunday drive.
I bet he was driving like this, one-handed, not even caring about what's going on.
Worry about it.
Stage 2, Kyle Busch would lose the lead on pit road. It'd be Infinger versus Crafton, but it doesn't matter because Kyle Busch is in the race. He would just...
I think Kyle Busch wants to get back in the field to see how many trucks he can pass.
Yeah. I bet it gets boring up there if you're Kyle Busch leading the race. He's like, you know what, guys? Just wait on pit road for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I can pass some more cars. Then Joe Nemechek would have to go back to pit lane. He had some sort of issue.
Yeah.
And then Joe Nemechek. Oh yeah, I remember that now.
He blew the tire.
He blew the tire and the splitter. And during that whole sequence, Kyle Busch would have to go back down pit road because he had some lug nut issues. Which, if it wasn't for Joe Nemechek, it could have been a disaster for him. Because he thought he had a loose wheel, didn't know if he had to come back down.
Yeah, he said he had a vibration and maybe being a loose wheel, didn't get all the lug nuts tight or something. But he had to come back down pit road.
The guys in second place was like, dang it. It's like, well, he's going to be in the back, but that really means nothing to him.
Yeah, something about him and tires at Atlanta. Last year I didn't get all the lug nuts on the tire come off. And
yeah.
That's what cost him the race. So he's like, oh no, not this again.
Yeah, Kyle Busch is really checkers or wreckers in Atlanta sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everyone in second was, thinking, well, hopefully he'll be a few laps down and we might
Yeah.
get to win stage 2, but we won't win stage 3 either way. But yes, it would be Sauter and Craft on the restart, but Ben Rhodes would just take the lead.
Yeah, Thor Sport was really looking awesome, and there's top 5 lots of times a day.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just an Atlanta thing, but they could be really dangerous at these 1.5 miles when Kyle Busch is not in there. But yeah, Johnny Sauter would hunt Rhodes down. And again, Sauter is also Thor Sport. It's really hard to remember that sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm so used to him being in the 21.
Yeah, he just picked up where he left off.
And meanwhile, in the Kyle Busch show, he is already in second at this time. Like, he's just dicing his way through. I would just compare it to Tom Brady. It's like he can do anything he wants.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's passing a lot of trucks, in one lap. It's like,
yeah.
I was like, wow, how can he be that fast? But,
like in the NFL broadcast, how they show like Tom Brady's view and what he does. I believe that's what they was doing during that whole sequence.
Everybody's right on the bottom. Kyle Busch, I'm just right up here. Go right.
And Kyle Busch would hunt down Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes said it's not really worth it. Not really worth getting in a wreck for the stage win.
I mean, with Kyle Busch being as fast as he was, it wouldn't have made no sense trying to block him because you're either gonna wreck yourself or call up issues.
So Kyle Busch would remain the leader after he wins stage 2, and he would come down pit road, and it would be Kyle Busch and Brett Moffitt on the restart. But Johnny Sauter would challenge Kyle Busch for the lead. It was like, wow, somebody is challenging Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
He would take the lead for a few laps.
He's really strong on the top. He just took off, and he's letting everybody knows, and I'm back, and I'm competitive now.
Kyle Busch said, I was just using like 10% of my skills, so
yeah.
I'm not.
I think Kyle Busch won't play with him a little bit. It's like, I think he's in the lead. So.
Stuart Friesen would have a flat tire, so not a great start for him either, even though he did finish 10th in the garage last time.
Yeah, it's just he still continues to have the troubles and stuff, and once he gets past all of that, I think he's going to be a pretty awesome driver.
And it would have another spin for Natalie Decker, which
in the same spot too.
Same spot, so sometimes it takes a little while to figure out some of these tracks, and Atlanta's a really tough one to start your 1.5-mile debut.
Yeah, I guess you want some TV time too.
Yeah, gotta get in for those sponsors sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Then pit stops again. Kyle Busch will lead off pit road, and then Crafton would have to come back into the pit road. So, not great for him so far.
No.
Then it would be Sauter versus Busch again, and then big crash with Jesse Little, Finley, Self, Kligerman, and Friesen. I believe it was just a little miscommunication with Little and Kligerman.
Yeah, I believe Jesse Little, he spun his tires a little bit, couldn't get going. I believe, it looked like Parker Kligerman was trying to push him a little bit and help him, but he kind of helped him speed more than anything. He even owned up to it, so that's good that if somebody makes a mistake, say, I messed up. So.
Yeah, sometimes like, no, I didn't. It wasn't my fault.
But it's really bad for Jesse Little. I really like to see him run full time, and it's good to see him in the race.
They would have a red flag for rain. Is it over? Is it not? We didn't know. We didn't know if it was going to get back going, and if it did get back going, would it still be wet out there? Would there be spins everywhere? So
they should have just called it then, really.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have changed the outcome of the race.
It changed like second place, third place, and all that, but there's nothing anyone could have done.
Yeah. Harrison Burton is second. Just call it now. Is that way he's got second place. So.
And Johnny Sauter would end up finishing second when they finally went going. I believe he said he wanted to at least get there and maybe have a chance to wreck him if he had to, but
yeah, Kyle Busch kind of blocked him a little bit. I don't think Sauter could really get to him. But I don't really think Sauter could really outran him.
Yeah, there's just no way. I mean, Kyle Busch, his own equipment, far superior than a lot of those guys out there. I believe the only one really with the same amount of equipment would be GMS.
Yeah.
We didn't really see much out of them.
No. Yeah, Brett Moffitt, he was kind of marred back in the back a little bit. So. Kyle Busch would win the race. He swept all the stages just like Christopher Bell did in the Xfinity Series. So a great weekend for Toyota so far. Yeah.
So we'll see how they will fare out in the Cup race. Also, Kyle Busch won his 52nd truck race, which is also most of all time so far. Until another Kyle Busch would win the truck series.
Not unless Ted Musgrave wants to come back and try to challenge it.
Yeah. I believe it was Ron Hornaday.
Yeah, Ron Hornaday.
Well, he could come back too.
He can come back too. Sorry.
Everyone comes back.
There's Ron Hornaday. Let's see. Okay.
So if we see him at Las Vegas next week,
I'm coming out of retirement.
So I'm not sure if Kyle Busch will be in the truck race for Vegas as well. He was last year. He also dominated that race, so we'll see.
Yeah, pretty much any race Kyle Busch is in the trucks, he's going to dominate.
I believe Vegas, they might have a little bit of a shot because Atlanta is such a veteran track. Really, there's no chance anyone else could, especially after the new younger teenagers out there. They really don't know what to do with this track. So, Kyle Busch, he races it, trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. He's got to know how to get around there the best way. So,
yeah, with the old surface, I believe Kyle Busch has really figured out the configuration. Him and Harvick both really.
Yeah.
And a lot of these young drivers, they really hadn't figured it out because it's rough, it's aged, and you go across the seams, you get loose. So it's once you figure a track out, it's just part about feel.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if Harvick was out there too. It would be Kyle Busch versus Harvick in the truck series again. But yeah, that is all we have for today. Join us later today for our Cup Series review. 3 podcasts in one day, so it's going to be really crazy.
Yep.
So join us then, and we'll see you next time.